In the 1960s, American cars ruled the road: big engines, bold designs, and almost no safety. The Chevrolet Corvair could flip without warning. The Pontiac Tempest struggled to stay straight. Seatbelts? Optional. Rumple zones? A fantasy. These beautiful machines hid deadly flaws under their chrome and fins. In the race for style and speed, safety was left in the dust, and America paid the price. Today we will talk about 3 of the best American cars similar to these cars. Dear viewers, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. Number 3. Why the 1965 to 1967 Rambler American was deadly. Outdated chassis and body design. The Rambler American was based on early 1950s architecture. By the mid-1960s, crash standards were evolving. But the Rambler was still using older, weaker frames and minimal side impact protection. Very lightweight. It was one of the lightest cars sold in America at the time. Under 2,700 pounds. Great for gas mileage, terrible for crash survival. Heavy vehicles crushed lighter ones in accidents. Doors that could fly open. Crash tests and real-world accidents showed that doors on Ramblers could pop open during collisions. Ejection risks were very high, especially without seatbelts, which were optional and rarely used. Slow stopping. Drum brakes all around. No discs, even as competitors were starting to offer them. In panic stops, fade was common, and stopping distances were long, making accidents harder to avoid. Minimal structural strength. Thin metal panels. No roll bars or roof reinforcements. A bad rollover could flatten a Rambler, offering little protection to occupants. Final vibe: the Rambler. American was charming, affordable, and economical, but shockingly vulnerable in accidents. It was a great car for a quiet life in the suburbs, but a real gamble on the highway. Number 2. Why the 1962 to 1967 Buick Skylark was dangerous. Overpowered for its chassis. In 1965, Buick dropped in a 300 cubic inch V8, and later even bigger engines. The car's basic suspension and narrow tires weren't designed for that kind of speed. It handled like a boat, especially in emergency situations or tight curves. Weak braking. For the power. Drum brakes all around. No discs, even when competing cars began upgrading. With all that V8 muscle, stopping power was not nearly enough. Brake fade was a real issue during sustained driving or repeated stops. Bad crash safety, even by 60s standards. No crumple zones. Poor side impact resistance. Roof structure couldn't handle rollovers. Tests showed major cabin intrusion in moderate crashes. Many didn't come with seatbelts standard until later years. Heavier than rivals, but not safer. The Skylark was heavier than many compact competitors, but that didn't translate to better safety. The extra weight actually worsened handling and braking, while structural reinforcements were minimal. Final vibe: the Buick Skylark, 62 to 67, was a stylish, comfortable cruiser that gave you muscle car thrills, but without any real safety net. You got power, but no control or protection. A dangerous combo, especially as highways got faster and traffic got thicker. Number 1. Why the 1960 to 1963 Studebaker Lark was dangerous. Weak crash protection. The Lark was built on a shortened version of an older full-size Studebaker frame. A cost-saving move that compromised structural integrity. No crumple zones or engineered deformation points. Force from a crash went straight into the cabin. Thin doors and weak roof pillars meant minimal protection in rollovers or side impacts. As a compact car, the Lark weighed less than many full-size competitors. In multi-vehicle crashes, it often absorbed more damage, and the passengers bore the brunt of it. The short front and rear overhangs gave little buffer space in collisions. Early Larks had drum brakes with marginal stopping ability, especially under load or downhill. Suspension was soft and outdated. Emergency maneuvers were unpredictable. Rear-wheel drive plus narrow wheelbase equals prone to spin-outs on wet or icy roads. Sparse interior safety. No seatbelts standard. Optional only in later years. Metal dashboard and rigid steering column. High injury risk in frontal impacts. Basic bench seats with poor support, increased ejection risk during rollovers. The Studebaker Lark was a clever budget compact, but safety wasn't part of its design priorities. It was cheap to buy, but costly in a crash. For families seeking value, it was appealing. But in a serious accident, it offered little protection.